that a lot of people that's in the appearance of power go through a catharsis where they can burn off all of their negativity by abusing the ones that they think is the weak ones, and all the time they ain't weak, they the strongest ones. That's why they at the bottom, because they got to hold up the system.
Right.
Right, but they only got to hold it up until they get tired of holding it up. And whenever they get tired of holding it up collectively, then they just all stand up and flip the table.
Right.
Right. But most of them don't know that all of the rest of them is ready to flip the table. So somebody got to tell everybody. So maybe one of the corners, one of the legs, a 7 or something, gonna start flipping around the bottom of the board to tell y'all all you gotta do is stand up. Talking to the wind, Ezekiel's army.
This might be a little before I roll this next clip. Question. Yo, can you hear me, Rod? What the heck? Oh yeah, so that's my question, man. Before we go to roll that, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Before we finish with the conclusion to that, so
go ahead.
All our prophecies is true to the degree in which the person responsible for executing a part of the plan executes. And if somebody is missing from the equation, then the prophecy, like for instance, Charles Russell predicted the end of the world like 5 times. We still here.
Yeah.
Now, he probably would have been right if he wouldn't have told nobody, they wouldn't have adjusted for it. But when he told people, they adjusted for it, which prevented it from happening.
You're here. Hey, so maybe he was supposed to kill him.
Yeah, so the prophecy is only as accurate as the person carry out their portion of the plan that leads up to the fulfillment of that prophecy. If any one person don't carry their load, it don't be accurate. But most of the time they carry their load, so the prophecy appears to be pretty accurate. And then history repeats itself. So once you see where the gap at, you know where to plug the hole. Pick the weakness in the game, you sew it up.
Hey, now this is my next question. And this might be a little thought, but I think it ties into right now. Now, I saw this concert where the rapper NBA Youngboy, man, he had to have at least 70 or 100,000 young guys in there. Like everybody had ski masks on their head. And they might have got in there with the blick. Look like they all had blicks in the car if they ain't have them on them. And then while he was rapping, they all like they was gonna leave there to go smoke somebody. Now with the power that he got, then they got him hit off in Utah with a black hand got one of they like the compounds that they call themselves the Mormons. That's their cover name, right? But what power could he if he was to change? Or what type of control do he got, man? Like to have that many people in there jumping around like that with the ski mask on, ready to go. Like he really dangerous for our, like if he was to turn on them and say, you know what, we finna go, the people that so-called enslaved our people, we know that's a bunch of crap now. But he was to turn his energy and say, you know what, they watching him like a hawk, man, because he got too many control over too many young crazy dudes, man. What you think about that, right? Before we click on this next clip.
All it is a tribal faction that's following their leader.
Okay.
Right? The leader don't want to go the conscious route because of Tupac. They don't want to end up like Tupac. So they'll spit that crazy stuff that the industry want them to spit to allow them to get the spotlight on them. But when you talk to them, you'll find out that most of them ain't crazy as they be acting.
That's right.
But sometimes you got to play the fool to catch a sucker. Right? So when you seem dumber than your mark don't feel threatened enough to have to remove you. If he was to turn around right now and start doing the same thing Tupac was doing, or KRS was doing in the 80s, right? He wouldn't last a good 6 months before he ended up like Charlie Kirk.
Some people say they are
because they told him. If you have an industry contract, they tell you that if you don't follow this contract, there's consequences.
That's right.
And the consequences may directly affect you, which means you might die, or somebody close to you, and the world gonna think you sacrificed.
Yeah.
It is sacrifice. As in the case of Kanye, he didn't sacrifice his mama like people think. They killed his mama because he was the value they was trying to exploit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he tried to go and do this Kanye thing, you know how Kanye is. We all know how he is. We've been watching it. You can't go do your Kanye thing. You under this contract.
Right.
Right? I don't care about your contract. I'm finna do my Kanye thing. Right? And as soon as he decided that he was going to disregard that contract,
boom.
Bye-bye Donda. So he becomes so disgruntled, they try to shut him up. Repeals, mental health crisis is publicized to the public, handlers, right?
Right.
Gave him the appearance, the public persona of a rich nigga.
Right.
Right? So he had it all, but he ain't free.
Right.
And what he turned around and told us not too long ago, I don't want none of it if I can't be free.
Go ahead.
I'd rather be free than have all the money. That's what he said after he lost that was it Balenciaga deal? Those rules that were taking stuff. Was it Balenciaga?
He made a tweet where he said he lost. He was talking about a tweet that he got off of. I can't remember what company that was. It was a multi-billion-dollar deal. He lost it from making a tweet.
That was for the shoes.
Okay.
That's for the shoes, the Yeezys. I think I forgot who Yeezy were going through. I think Reebok. Anyway, he lost those deals because he'd rather be free than be paid to shut the F up while his people are struggling.
Right.
The problem is we don't know how to read Crazy Horse energy. Because if we knew how to read Crazy Horse energy, we would know exactly where Kanye coming from and what he's trying to tell us. We supposed to learn it off Old Dirty Bastard. He was to teach us the Crazy Horse energy, how to read it. Right? It's a couple more of them, but it was the lead Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse is a frequency and it's a cover. It's a protection, a spiritual protection from the tribes. Sitting Bull is a title, right? And it literally refers to the bull who sits on his post. He's sitting down on his post. He figured he's a bull. He can't be moved.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So all of these titles comes with encoded energies that the tribes can use. If we learn how to read Crazy Horse, it's like ODB say, shame on her for trying to run game on him. And he said, wait a minute, let me tell y'all what I'm talking about so y'all will know what it means. Then he went sober as a preacher to describe it. Yeah. And then he went back to shame on her, right? Crazy Horse.
Yeah.
You got to know when to see. Young Pharaoh went through the Crazy Horse energy phase, where he used the Crazy Horse energy to break from under the pressure of being put under the spotlight. We sat here and watched him, and we all called him crazy, except for me. I laughed. He's crazy, you know exactly what he's doing. Right? Because the crazy horse energy is used to get information past the enemy, in the enemy face. Right? So, the example, one day he was telling the story, and they were saying he was crazy during this time. And when he telling the story, he looked back to his baby mama and say, "Am I lying?" And she was like, "Nope, that happened." That's crazy horse bouncing it off a sane individual that was present, that's verifying that he ain't as crazy as we think he is.
Mm-hmm.
Because the story that he's telling actually happened, but he's telling it in an animated way that makes him sound unhinged. But the girl verified the whole story sitting right next to him. Crazy horse energy. Once you know how to read it, you know how to read it.
We're gonna roll that next.
So his mentor is a Hebrew Israelite, but all of a sudden he ain't. But in the older paper, in the newspaper article from back when it happened, called him a Hebrew Israelite.
I tend to think all the time they got to set up in some type of way. It's just crazy. Go ahead, Nish. I know you wasn't.
That's look up Morris Zionist Jew.
I remember. Okay. Hold on.
We were fighting niggas. I'm telling you, the white man ain't white.
And black, for them to spell out black Hebrew Israelite, it almost makes me think like, is this a trick? Are you trying to get us to go against it?
Them pale-faced Jews ain't the real Jews. They just the synagogue of Satan. They the front. They the fall guys. Crash dummies.
So let me ask you, what are we as far as being what are we, Rod?
He said shapeshifters. I love
it. We spirits occupying meat suits. Earth roving meat suits. These niggas right here is the niggas. Them the ones that had Noble Drew Ali took out. That's who he was fighting with that made him have to leave New Jersey. Cause them some dirty niggas.
Behave, be hombre. Be nice.
Them the ones behind the JDL and the ADL.
And they also, it's interesting too, because they also do resemble, when you think of old world Jew, or in the mind, you know, when you think of those old world European Jews, or what have you, have the dress code, very similar.
Right. So they have us believing by the way that they write the Bible that Edom or Adam is some kind of way a pale face. That's not the case. Mississippi clay dirt red. That's the color. Like meat. Edomite, ruddy red. But he's the one who with the birthright. And Jacob, the Jew, the black Jew, is the one that was still in the birthright. And all the time, they the imposters. They're not the rightful heirs.
At all. In fact. You got 606 people in the building watching, and I'm getting ready to drop the link. So anyone that has a question, come on up, because we're going to shut this down in about an hour max. So do not wait, please. I'm going to drop the link. Okay.
I moved it so that stream thing I moved it back so I can get on here. All right. Every time I hear anything that anyone's saying, the thought of setup is always going to come back to my mind. You know what I'm saying? And it's always set up against the original American Indian people on this land. Do you agree, Rod, that Africans and I'm sorry to say this, and other type of ethnic groups or other type of groups take credit from the American Indian. Like, we built stuff and they get credit for it.
Yeah. A lot of people get credit for stuff we built.
That's what
All
I'm
these
saying.
castles that they converted into prisons and state buildings, we built that before they came.
Before they even came.
We're than people over here.
Right.
We have intermarried on the eastern shoreboard of Africa for thousands of years, but the primary root stock, I mean, they not over here enough to overtake our genetics. Right?
You know, something Nisha said that made me ask that question when she said, who are we? How are we going to change things so that people know that that's not true? I mean, we can say it to 1,000 people.
Everybody don't have to know. But the ones who need to know need to know.
Need to know. Because Big Sister said in the chat, who do we trust? Who can we trust? It's like we have almost disappeared. By them giving us African American and all these different names, we have completely. I actually, in my lifetime, have seen them actually. What do they say? When what's the word for it? That's Onisha. Come on, help me with that word. When animals disappear and extinct.
Extinction.
They're actually literally extinctioning us. I know that's
what do you mean? We baby kids, baby. We ain't going nowhere.
I know, but I mean, it's like we're hidden
in plain sight.
In plain sight.
Okay, so now, if you look at the algorithm, social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, over the last 5 years, it's all right. The babies got it now. A lot of grown folks ain't gonna never get it, but the babies got it now. Not only do they got it, they research skills make me look like I don't know how to do no research. So they coming with the receipts, verifying everything I've been saying the whole time on their own from the angle they see the problem. That's systematically rebuilding the consciousness of the people. The babies got it now. I don't care if all these grown folks don't get it. I don't care if some of these grown folks crash out and run into a wall. They in the way. I tried to convince Mama to let me take out everybody over 13 and start from scratch. She said, "No, baby, we can't do that."
But they were closer to grandmom's explanation of who we are, the grown folks. We have to tell the young ones, no, we not this, we not that, we're this and we're that.
They got it now. I'm telling you, the babies got it. The babies got it. And when the babies start sharing it, they share it with each other because they ain't got stingy as grown folks.
I mean, in plain sight, because I mean, I have conversation with people that are still trying to explain that we're African. And they get this from school, and they're actually literally getting it from school and churches, the places where we should be getting real information from.
First of all,
I'm just saying, like now,
the school will only give you the narrative.
Mm-hmm. But some of the parents are young, and the generation is so young now that they don't have that. They're not talking to grandmom and great grandmom who are telling them I'm Blackfoot, I'm Chickasaw, you know what I'm saying? They're not telling them that in their heads. It's like,
they doing it in the South.
Yeah,
they doing it in the South. They going because the youngsters is putting their elders on the hot seat. Why you ain't tell me we been the ones that been the original organic Mississippi clay dirt walking on the land, from the land, by the land, to the land?
Right. If we don't,
and the elders now got it right. But when them youngsters putting them on the hot seat, well, I just thought that was something that my grandmama said we was Indian. I ain't know it was real. I ain't know it was real. And then now they're coming back showing their elders. Did you ever seen this YouTube channel? This guy called Karimo Ahu. All you do is bring up the old books from the contemporary period, showing you all of the receipts about the paper genocide, about how they covered up the color of the actual people when they was just like Abraham Lincoln. They give us one Abraham Lincoln, but the contemporaries describe him as looking totally different.
Completely different.
And I'm saying this too. I'm saying, listen, and people could take it how they want. And I'm not being smart, but the word African American to me is the worst thing that we could call ourselves. Because what it does,
that's how you prove you don't know who you is.
That bothers me, because what it does is taken from us and given to them. And they standing up saying, we did all of this. And they didn't. And they didn't. By us being called African Americans, it takes from us.
Look, I don't know who they be talking to. Okay, you got Africans with two different man states coming from over there to America. You got the ones that's just trying to get out of poverty, and they found that America be a place where they can get their hustle on and get their bread up. They'll tell you in a heartbeat, you know African. Why do you even say you African? Then you got the ones that's academically trained to follow a controlled narrative that the western coast of Africa have been capitalizing on tourist sites of our imaginary misery. And so those institutions, you got to remember, the colonizer that colonized them, the same colonizer that colonized us. So the colonizer over there is telling the narrative to support the narrative over here, but the people who are over there that don't want to take part in the narrative saying they lying.
Well, they're literally telling us in our face, who are Americans, dark Americans, saying to us, we built America. It was us who did it.
That is wrong. Let me tell you where I'm at with it, Sister Freedom. Mm-hmm. They can say whatever the hell they want. They can take credit for whatever the hell they want. But the ones that don't belong here, they can get the F on for something that they ain't got credit that they ain't do.
I do. Because it's the reason why I'm saying this, because we got kids growing up and grandkids. And in their mindset, they believe that they're African. And in their mindset,
remember I just told you that the babies got it.
Right, that's what you're saying. But it's a lot of things now. The grandparents are young, and someone even said in the chat, our grandparents are even scared to talk to them. That they don't even talk to them about things that happened back in the 40s, 30s. They don't even talk to them.
Here.
So what I'm saying is, our children and grandkids are going to grow up thinking that Africans came over here on a ship, like you saying, in plain sight is happening. So we can't say that our ancestors built America because we are American. We got to say they came over here on these ships and they built America, which leaves us out like we didn't do anything.
You know what?
Already here.
Listen. Only reason why I'm not concerned about somebody taking credit for something they ain't do, because when all's said and done, well, what's left is only the truth.
Okay.
When all of the BS fade and fall to the side, only thing gonna be left is the truth.
Yeah, but
you can bend all of them lies, reform them, reshape them. You can make them into a chain or a web. It don't matter. When all of the lies fall down, this stage of Aquarius, all of the lies got to be exposed.
Okay.
And my man Cat Williams say except for all of them big stick deviants. Slight alteration for the core.
And just like Cat Williams said, no. That's what I do. And I think of him. Glad you said that. No. When somebody is talking to me and say Africans came over and they did this, and this other group came over and they did this, and this one did this. What about we was here? Let me
Look,
tell you some of the stories that my grandfather told me, but we was already here. And then somebody say, what do we call ourselves? We call ourselves what we are, American Indians. Or we can call ourselves the copper color Americans. We are allowing them to take that from us. It irritates me. Because every time you say I'm African American or you write it
you know why you know why it irritates you, right?
yourself. I'm sorry.
Yes, my man just said his name, Karumo Ahu. I don't know if I pronounced that.
He's a descendant of a slave, but you also could be you could have been a slave and not be African. What do you think they did with the people that was left on these lands when they came over and invaded?
Listen.
I'm
gonna send you a clip, Sister Freedom. I wish I would have thought about it before I came on here.
Okay.
Because when my man went to the slave page to find out what was brought over here, turns out, according to the slave record on file, they only brought about 8,000 humans over here.
Mm-hmm. That's what saying something about that last night.
Yeah.
Over 500 years? Come on now.
Yeah. It's a very small percentage. In totality, in the Americas period, South, North, Caribbean, especially to the United States, right? So it's very, very, very minute. Hey, Miss L. Hey, sis, how are you?
Subscribe if you haven't.
Hi, how are you? I'm doing okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this on.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you a question, but I'm gonna let the sister get it in first, right? She coming up. I just want to say thank y'all for hanging out with us, rocking with us. We got 665 people joining our live. I think that we're maybe at 280 or 270, I think, likes. Come on, y'all, hit the like button, show support. I pinned his Cash App. All right, support the guests. This is really, really important. So thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. All right, you got it, baby. Welcome. We're happy to see you. We really are. Miss KL, you have a question?
Oh, I thought you said you were going to ask me a question. Okay.
No. Rod, but I want you to go first.
Oh, no, I just have a that whole slave story is I have a comment. The whole slave story is always up for dispute because it's just not factual. According to National Geographic, the oldest bones found in America was that of quote unquote Negro bones, Negroid bones that were found, and it was a woman that was found here in the Americas, which way predated these so-called $5 Indians that traveled from Asia. Like, people have to understand migration and how, and a lot of people don't understand why things look the way they do. There was a big war in Asia, and a lot of the Asians migrated to the Caribbean and to the Americas. And also, we also have to look at Pangea, the fact that at one point all of the land was together. So, like people who look like us, whoever's over here now, we're like the descendants of people who survived the great cataclysms.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I remember when I was in college 20 years ago at community college, there's this book called America the Nation. I had to do a paper on it. Don't you know, in that particular book, the whole total population of people that's between Alaska and Canada all the way down to South America is what they so-called shipped over here through slavery, which is like one of the big, it doesn't even make sense because they didn't even have the technology or the mindset to create boats that could even withstand months and months of being out in the sea voyaging with people. And nevertheless, these people didn't know how to separate where they go to the bathroom and eat, so I mean, like, a lot of you people just need to use common sense. The whole reason why we're in this position is because the Moors we lost the war. They lost the war because they had a gun and we didn't.
Where did the gun come from? Who invented the gun?
I think the Asians kept invented the gunpowder.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know who created the gun.
It was Ottoman Moors who was getting the gunpowder from Asia,
Mm-hmm.
and they was using what's called a spear box first. Then when they got into Europe,
I do.
they began to make single action firearms.
So exactly, and I told so you know that part, Rod Hayes. Rod Hayes is a very intelligent man. Listen to another podcast and that I know Rod Hayes from, and the reality is we've been bamboozled. If you're colonized and you lose the war, guess what? We
That's what I
integrate.
was saying right there.
We integrated. So when we integrated, anybody can write a book. There's
Right.
so many fictional books out here.
Yes.
We believe in fiction.
Preach.
Anybody can write a book. If you go to school, you integrate, and you go to school in their systems, they're gonna have you read books. They're gonna brainwash you with whatever they want to brainwash you with. So, and that's just the reality of this is what happened. This is what happened. So anytime National Geographic exposed that the oldest bones was Negro bones on this land, even them terms Indian and all that, those are all different names that they gave us
Yes.
when they
Preach.
when they denationalized us. They denationalized us, and that's what happened. First, when the colonizers came over here, they saw that they thought they were Indian, that were in India when they came over here.
Okay, the problem I got with that's the story they tell us.
But that's probably a lie too.
Listen, it was Hindustan all the way up into the 1940s or 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So what India was he looking for if it was Hindustan?
Mm-hmm.
Let that settle on the brain for a minute.
Head chop.
That's and sister, let me say this. I'm telling you, when I was young and went to school, it wasn't no Africans in the school with me. And I'm from AC. It wasn't not a one, and I've asked people over the age of 50, over the age of 40, sometimes I'll go from like 45. They didn't go to school with no Africans. When they started being in school with Africans, they were in high school and college.
My thing about that, and my thing is, I'm not trying to create any delineation in a negative, between.
No, I'm not either. I'm just saying
between us and them, because they are our kin, but we need to claim the land that we're on.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, that takes me to the question that's in the on the screen right now.
Yeah.
If y'all was always here, why did you let them take your land?
Mm-hmm.
They keep telling me they stole. They keep telling me they stole the land, right? But every time I look out my window, it's still here. Part of theft is the concealment.
The problem is that we integrated. We left from
that's not the problem, because we've been fighting niggas the whole time.
Right.
Well, that comes along with integration,
But you know what? I think what to your Rob, because I don't want that what you said a few minutes ago. I hope people caught what you said, and I don't want that going over nobody's head about how is it possible that he was looking for India when there was no India and it was called Hindustan. Mm-hmm. That's a head chop.
Right.
Yeah, that's so it was no such thing.
Explain that though, Dots. It wasn't called that. So how could they be looking for something?
That's right. Exactly.
Well, that's how the books are lying. They lie. They lie
so much. Like you say, anybody can write one. You Dots talking about that earlier. Even people that's on drugs in jail, all kinds of write books.
Anybody can write a book if you go to their
institution.
Well, You could.
In order for somebody to write the book, first thing they gotta have is some self-discipline. And so many motherfuckers don't have self-discipline. Self-discipline is the most needed currency in the community right now. Ain't nobody got no self-discipline. Very few people got the discipline it take to sit down and write a book. Very few.
Okay, my point was to say that they wrote a book. We went to school in their systems, and they brainwashed us with their literature. You know how the saying goes, anybody can write a book. It's just like saying but you know, like.
Then you got to remember, before the 1950s, they didn't have no uniform school system. Only certain people was taught how to read.
That's right.
The select few was taught how to read. So they tell us that the history is written by the victors, the ones who won. Now, if they won, right, and they write in the history, where do the loser find the truth in the history? Right? Because you got to mirror it. They gonna tell you the story in reverse. They gonna glorify they characters and vilify yours, so to make it look like that you taking sides with the righteous party, when all the time you taking sides with the enemy, but you don't know it. They got to write a history that is going to make the people that they call themselves conquering submissive to the conquest. At any given time, if they educate themselves above the condition and begin to see what's taking place, then they can say, hold up, wait a minute, this is my shit. I want my stuff back. Give my stuff back. Right? Now, all you had to do was find a Jubilee year. They told us it was a Jubilee year when the Queen Lizard bitch pushed the button on the triple helix. Right? And so that was supposed to be the Jubilee celebration. So we're doing the oral tradition and the redemption, crossing the Maherta, which is when we lined up to the center of the galaxy in the 8 years, so we could catch the infinity loop to flip out of the infinity loop that stops us from chasing our tail, right? And then we go to a 9 year where the baby is about to be born. The job is done now. Right?
I had a question about the land piece real quickly before we continue to move on, because that always, I always ask questions about that because it's really fascinating and interesting. And on maybe 2 shows prior, there was a lot, when you came on, there was a lot of questions in the comments that was left about wanting you to expand on like the effects of tenant farming versus sharecropping. And I also wanted to get into the Homestead Act as well. But I'm going to share this real quick. I want to share this something real quick with you guys.
Whether they salvage right jurisdiction of the crash of the Plymouth, which was the Mayflower, is to send an expedition. Now remember, while Lewis and Clark is going north and west, all of the tribes going to give support to the war effort in Florida is going south and east. So when they see all of the castles empty, because I'm not sending my son to war and I ain't fighting next to him. This is how we move over here on the land. But over there, they will send their son to war and stay at home under their blanket in front of the fireplace. We didn't believe in that over here. So while we was going to fight in the Gullah Wars, they assessing the land off of the assessment of the Louisiana Purchase. Apparently, the report comes back, there's no royalty on the land because the castles is empty. What castles? The one in Chicago, Minnesota, Montana, all the way across to Oregon and Washington State. So we all going to fight in the war. They saying that the crash site was bigger than they anticipated and they needed to expand their salvage operations, which opened up the squatters lanes. The squatter lanes came in when there was large portions of land appointed to a tribe by the tribal mother council. But because the tribe only lived in a small portion of the land, they assumed oh, this ain't nobody land. But when you go back and you look at all of the attempts to buy land from the chiefs, we look at them like they crazy. You can't buy and sell Mama Earth. That's the most ridiculous thing we ever heard of. Right? So they create their paperwork, their allodial title system, in order to lay claim under the salvage right what the squatter has returned to the crown.
I'm so happy that we got Rod. You bringing the ladies out tonight. We have Big Sister YM, Z-Real, Goddess Moalita. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Welcome, ladies. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Who came up first? I'm not sure.
Big
So much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Peace and love, ladies. I love what you sisters are doing. And, you know, I've been pretty much, you know, I'm raised in Brooklyn, New York all of my life. Right now, I live in Delaware. My thing is, I know you do. I've been waiting for us to bump heads and so we can link up. But, you know, so I've been on this journey, my sisters and Uncle Rod, for many, many years. But I am a lesbian woman, so even though I'm on this journey, I'm not often accepted by our community. Now, as someone that does live Wusabat, Baba Yanun only taught us love. That is it. But I try to extend that to our brothers and sisters, and it's not often received because of how I live. And I think that's a personal choice of mine, and it doesn't have anything to do with what I stand for. What I stand for is love, peace, and unity. Because I'm a 70s baby, and when I was coming up, that's all we knew. And I feel as though when we had nothing, we were better off as a people. But now, because we have all these devices and all these things taking our attention away, what is the prize? We are lost because our babies have fallen prey to all of this. We were born, you know, coming up in the 70s. I'm from Marcy Projects, my grandparents rather. And, you know, we didn't always have, but we had each other and we had love. And love is the thing that I feel is lacking the most. So this is why I love what you sisters do. And I love you, Uncle Rod. And I just love us. And I just want to see us do better. But I see so many of our brothers and sisters, they're lost. They're lost. I talk to them all the time because I'm on the wrong side of Delaware. Because I let somebody move me from New York to here. And this is where I wound up. And I sometimes feel like I'm on the wrong side because no one around me is like-minded like me. So I just feel like, yeah, and I thought about that too, Uncle Rod, and I said, I've been here for 11 years. I must be here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And I'm constantly trying to reach my people. Please stop what you're doing. But it's so hard. And then my family, I just try to reach all of them. But it seems like nobody's listening most of the time.
Well, somebody listening. It must like that might not be the one you're trying to get the message to, but somebody listening.
Thank you.
It's always somebody listening.
Always.
Why are you in your personal life? That's your personal business, and they're the ones without seeing to cast the first stone.
Okay, that part.
Thank you. That's what I always say too.
And you can put your information in the private chat, okay? Because we do.
Yes, I will.
You know, we do sister talks, and we love to hear the opinions of other sisters, you know, concerning what our fight, what we going through.
Thank you, and I will do that. And for you sisters, I'm waiting on my Cash App to come in the mail right now because I really stopped messing with Cash App once that incident happened with the guy that was owning Cash App. I kind of just stopped. But once my Cash App does come, I will be sending you sisters something, and that is from me to you, and that's out of love.
Thank you.
Because I don't have nothing but my word, and my word is my bond.
Okay.
The fact that you're here with us tonight is more than enough, and we appreciate your presence and your support, really and truly.
Thank you.
Definitely, and send love to definitely Chief
Girl in the house. Hey, girly girl.
Yes, you got it. All right, who's next? Come on, y'all, with the questions. Who came in next?
Z-Real. Hey, Z-Real. Hey, sister.
How are you guys?
How
are you? having me.
Right, we'll bring the sisters out.
We're bringing the ladies out, right?
Yes.
I love it.
And
I love it.
It's that black girl magic.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Black girl magic. I put that shit on everything.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
All right, Zero. Sorry, we like how we are. Go ahead, you got it.
Oh, I'm here for the festivities.
Jump in.
Children all day, every day. So I appreciate the sisters and Chief P, of course. Now listen, this is the thing that I had an issue with, right? How come some Spaniard people play like they with us, but they came over? So I'm usually confused as to which group claims Native American heritage, which group is acting like they're us and down with us, because they embody my children. So in East Harlem, 116, that's where we usually where I derive from when I started raising my children. And so my children made a group.
Harlem? Excuse me, Miss Harlem.
I sent you a shout out when you said it, boo.
Harlem World all day. What? All day.
I'm originally from Brooklyn, so y'all already know. We can go
back in the building.
And I am from Nostrand Avenue.
Yeah. Me too. Big up in neighborhood.
Right.
Shout out to all 5 boroughs in NYC. The Big Apple.
Day long, New York.
Yes.
I keeps it moving. But anyway, so what I noticed is that we're mixed, and so my children are mixed. So when they go down into the Spanish community,